Hey y'all, welcome back to Venzzini's game. I'm going to bring you my next build here for a Magicka Templar Vampire. You don't absolutely have to be Vampire, but this is a beginner's healer's build that's very effective in PvP, especially small game. And you can see here I have a window up, and this is the My Build add-on window. It's going to give you all the stats and all the gear. Don't mind the champion points. I mainly play in non-CP. If I was to use this in CP, in champion point, Cyrodiil, I would add a little more healing, defenses, not any damage, and really be, up those heals even more. So don't mind the champion point part of this, because I like to switch builds back and forth. And, if you're going to do this, you could use your own common sense to just increase all healing effective abilities in your champion point system. So, but we'll just take a look at the rest for right now. If you want to take a screenshot of the My Build window, or just pause the video so you can just take a look and see it, it gives you the weight, the stats, the sets and everything else. And you can just look at it for you seasoned players out there who just want to check this video out. Also, I'll just pop the timestamp up top here if you want to skip all the mumbo jumbo. Why I feel this is a very customizable beginner's build and a very cheap build to put together for anybody that's CP 160 to 300, that are trying to compete with healing in battlegrounds and or non-CP or CP. You can check out the timestamp, move forward and skip all the mumbo jumbo. All right. So let's get to it. I'm just going to do a quick overview of the My Build window. I'm a Bosmer, which is not the best for Magicka Templar healing, but it slates itself. This build can be used on any race pretty much. It's a pretty well-rounded build on any class too. So for healing, that is. So you can just keep that in mind, and it's extremely customizable. Magicka attribute points all into Magicka, of course. This build, you have 38.5k Magicka, 20.5k health, and 20.5k stamina, and that's not in PvP. Obviously, those stats change around. You have about 25k health, and your Magicka and stamina pools will drop by about 3,000, in PvP. And when I start talking about how much heals do and whatnot, now remember, it's halved in PvP with the Battle Spirit. Okay, equipment 511. This is a 5 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light build. I'm wearing a monster set of the Bogdans, which is not that hard to get. You can farm it. If you don't have Bogdans, you can still do this build and do a 1 piece of whatever monster sets you have each for the 1 piece stat. Put any defensive set on. Pirate Skeleton would work good with this. A lot of people swear by Earth Gore. I would definitely switch this to Earth Gore if I was out in Cyrodiil in very big mass PvP. But Bogdans is, I feel, a lot better and a lot more uptime and a lot more beneficial in small game PvP, but that's just my opinion. It also has a 1-piece Magicka stat on it, which is very nice if you're a race that doesn't have quite as many bonuses to Magicka. Alright, it's 5-piece impregnable gear, which is gotten through Battlegrounds, through PvP reward system in Battlegrounds. And impregnable, we'll go into the 5-piece stuff here shortly. But then it's 5-piece Shacklebreaker, which is crafted, which allows this build to be very customizable to what gear you have and what you can afford. That's why it's a beginner's build. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at my actual inventory. We'll go over all the stats, we'll go over my skills, and we'll talk about why I feel this is such a great build for newer players or people that want to try healing and have a little bit of forgivingness and not such a complicated build with procs and different things that you need to do with which bar and when. This is a pretty straightforward build. Okay, so you got your Bogdans, like I said. I have a Bogdan's Night Flame mask. I really would like a heavy helmet. That would be better, but we don't have it, because if we had a heavy helmet, we could make a medium boots of Shacklebreaker or make a belt of Shacklebreaker. That's what's great about a crafted set, is you can get the weight you want for the Undaunted passive. Okay, and let's real quick just look at the Undaunted passive. I'm going to go ahead and close the My Build window. The Undaunted passive under your Guild Undaunted tree. is Undaunted Metal. We've gone over this in other builds, but for you newer players, basically for every weight of armor you have on each type. So if you have one light, if you have a representation of each style armor, it's giving you 2% for each one of each of your major stats: health, stamina, and magicka. So if you have all three, it's 6% to all your stats, which is really, really nice. Now, if you don't have this, your build, you're going to want to change this build to probably 5 heavy, 2 light, so you get the extra passive stuff for your magicka, regen, and things in your light. So I would go 5 heavy, 2 light, okay? But if you have any Undaunted at all, go 5, 1, 1, okay? Alright, so let's go back, and we'll talk about Bogdan's a little bit here. So I have a light shoulder and a medium mask of Bogdan's, right? It gives you a one-piece magicka, like I said. And when you heal a friendly target, you have a 5% chance to summon a totem for 6 seconds that heals you and your allies within 5 meters for almost 4,000 health every 1 second for 6 seconds. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. Yes, it's only a 5% chance, but with this build, you're putting a lot of hots on, a lot of heals out there that are over time, clicking away. This thing drops constantly. And actually, in small game PvP, I find it way more beneficial than Earthcore. Okay, you can, if you have Earthcore and you want to run it, throw it on here by all means. My epaulets have divines on it. I'm going to switch this to sturdy, and actually next patch, just to let you guys know, Merkmeyer comes out. They're nerfing the impregnable set down to about 2,000, I think, for the 5-piece, 2,000 critical resistance. No big deal. I'd probably switch this then to impenetrable. All you would have to do is have 2 impenetrable on your person here on one of your pieces of gear, and you'll equal what impregnable gives you right now. Okay? Alright, so it's all heavy. I have all heavy on the body. I have an impregnable chest, reinforced. I have Shacklebreaker legs, infused. Both tri-stack glyphs. Okay? I have both my helmet and shoulders are Magicka glyphs. Shacklebreaker girdle, Magicka with sturdy Shacklebreaker feet with Magicka, and hands, gauntlets, impregnable, sturdy, Magicka. Now, the impregnable gear Magicka, impregnable gear sturdy, heavy, is probably going to cost you around 3,000 gold a pop here on PCNA. So you're looking at, that's probably your most pricey item, right? But Shacklebreaker's crafted. You find any crafter, they'll be willing to make you this stuff. It's pretty cheap. You can kind of swap it around. Now I go with all impregnable jewelry because this is a beginner's build. A lot of people out there do not have. First of all, they might not even be able to make jewelry because they don't have the DLC or the chapter or whatever. But so you go with all impregnable jewelry, and I have all Magicka recovery glyphs on them, and they're all arcane with increased max Magicka. These things here you can actually probably get for under 1,000 gold each if you're lucky. You might pay a total of 2,000 to 2,500 gold for the jewelry. That's it. Okay. You get someone to craft you your weapons, which is all Shacklebreaker. Nirnhone. Now the Nirnhone will get a little expensive. You can't afford it. Go ahead and go with Powered, and you'll be just fine. And then a Nirnhone sword of the Shacklebreaker, and Shacklebreaker shield with sturdy tri-stack glyph. The tri-stack glyphs can also get expensive depending on your race. Again, if you can't afford it, go with straight Magicka. If you can afford it, go ahead and do it. So that kind of puts it out there. I have 2 infused, 1 divines, which I want to change, and 1 reinforced, and 3 sturdy, and a sturdy shield. Okay, I do, like I said, I want a little more sturdy. Sturdy's going to reduce your block cost. That's part of this build. It's a restoration staff, and then defensive sword and board. Now, if your playstyle isn't a lot of blocking, what's great about Impregnable, this is why I say this is a beginner's build, Impregnable allows you to use whatever trait you want. If you want all divines, if you roll dodge a lot and you're using, say, Resto Staff and Destruction Staff instead to heal, and your defense instead of blocking is roll dodging and sprinting a lot, then go ahead and put 4 traits of well-fitted instead for your defense. Or if you want to just go roll all divines and you want to min-max maybe some of your spell power, or want that extra regen, by all means go divines. Okay, that's what's so great about this build. And if you want to get cheeky because you're able to craft Shacklebreaker, let's go over into my inventory here to jewelry. You could go with Shacklebreaker jewelry and just replace whatever pieces you want of impregnable on the body, and you could get a different trait on your Shacklebreaker jewelry right away. It just gets a little expensive trying to increase it to purple. Very expensive still. So I'm trying to keep this more of a beginner's build, and honestly the build I have on my persons right now, other than maybe the Nirnhome, which is going to cost you about 12k each, I'm thinking overall you could do this build for under 50,000 gold, okay? But probably just right around 50,000 gold here on PCNA, okay? But if you're getting cheeky, you could do Triune stats, you could do Swift stats, you could do whatever stats you wanted if you made this Shacklebreaker jewelry instead, and really tweak your build more to what you want. Okay, your spell resistance and physical resistance, because your heavy's 18 and 15 unbuffed, you're going to get that up into close to 30. It'll be 28 and 27 or something like that with your self buffs, okay? Again, you can get cheeky. If you have a transmutation, you could take an arcane off and you could put some protective traits on these jewelries and get that up even more. Okay? Your spell damage is at 1,661. Self-buffed with your passives and some major sorcery potions, you'll get it well over 2k. Alright? That kind of sums up why I like this build as a beginner's build. Customization and very simple. Alright? Your critical resistance is probably one of the best defensive stats in PvP. So you'll really see a difference there when healing. I block cast a lot, that's why I go sword and board. And if we switch to sword and board, a little less magicka, a little more health and stamina because of the tri-stack glyph, and a little more resistances, alright? And obviously, I love this shield I made because there's a big V on it for Venzzini. Alright, that pretty much sums it up. You're going with whatever traits you want on your gear that's to your playstyle, but for this specific build, it's sturdy, block, cast, healing. Now let's check the skills out. All right. Okay, we're going to take a look at my skills and what I run. Right now, I'm on my defensive bar. On my defensive bar, I run Remembrance. That's your oh crap. Your block casting, your Breath of Life for the big heals. Extended Ritual, which is going to take 5 bad things off of you, and then also can be synergized and is a heal over time on the ground. Elusive Mist. You don't have to be Vampire with this build, and the reason, honestly, I would use some more Psijic abilities in this build, but because it's a beginner's build, I'm not going to assume that you have Psijic. If you do, you could run Acceleration on here as your movement if you're not Vampire. Okay, I'm running Energy Orb. Still going to level it up a bit. And that's just a heal over time as it ticks on people, and it also is a nice big heal and restore of resources for your allies. Running Absorb Magicka. This is for my self-healing when these rangers are trying to just pressure me. Very nice. Plus it's reducing your block cost along with your sturdy traits. Really good ability to defensively as a healer. Okay, on my Restoration Staff bar, I have Light's Champion. It's my heal over time while I'm still able to move. Inner Light for that extra magicka and permanent prophecy. Channel Focus for the regen and the defenses. Mutagen, again, over time, heals. Healing Springs over time. And Total Dark's going to give you your minor sorcery and your... it's going to be self-healing also. It's going to really help when you're getting focused and you want to put this on a bunch of people to keep you alive till your friends can come. Plus they do damage to themselves. They can't stand, and they waste stamina breaking it because it is a CC. Okay, this is my flex spot on this bar. Sometimes I might run Purifying Light, which is also a heal over time on the ground when it ends. And just a nice big hit and kind of target for your team. I'll run that once in a while. I will also run, instead of, like if I was going to do Psijic, let's go to the Psijic skill line. If you're going to do Psijic, I would say you would be using Mend Wounds, Meditate, and maybe accelerate if you're not vampire. But if I was going to use Mend Wounds, I would throw it on here instead of Energy Orb, and I would use that as an extra hot and everything. Okay. That's about it for the skills, guys, and hope you enjoy this beginner's build and check it out in action. I have a few clips here, some battlegrounds I did with it. You can see how it works. All right. Have a good one, and as always, can't talk tonight, but as always, I will catch you on the battlefield. I'm just watching to make sure. Yeah, I gotta let him go. Stay back here. There's another green coming. Okay, so far nobody's been able to get behind. Thank God. I'm guarding, but yet we can't seem to take any either. Okay, let's see if we need some heals. Where's he at? Where's he at? I'm gonna heal him. Oh shit. God, the stupid steps owning me. Why wouldn't you stand in it? Why wouldn't you stand in it? Why are you going after 3 guys? Okay. They're fighting over there. I'm going to go up with them. Let purple... Let's take greens. That's what we need to do. So, let purple take ours. And we'll see how it goes.
We have the running.
They need heals up here. Shit. Okay, this should be the game. Ah. Boom. Haha. Great game. Great game. That kind of shows you the effectiveness. couldn't get out of the damn fire. So that death is on me. Alright, well, not too bad. Jesus, come on! You guys keep getting me pinched. So I did 760k healing with that build, guys. Just to put it in perspective, that was a full deathmatch. Alright. Just wanted to put that out there. Alright, guys. That's about it.